Hey, what's up everyone and welcome to today's video. This episode will guide you through the issues of the New Mutants published by Marvel Comics in 1983. Issue number 9. The New Mutants have been taken prisoner by the legionnaires of Roma, an ancient city hidden deep within the Amazon. Surrounded by mountains and low-hanging clouds, this place has not been discovered for years, and the only way to access it is through the tunnels they just traveled to. And with an army of legionnaires, no expedition has ever returned alive to be able to tell the story. Astounded by the sight, the team discusses their current situation. Danny thinks it's wise to play along and maybe they can get help once they arrive in the city of Roma. They will remain being captives and might get some help finding Roberto's mother, as well as finding out more about their own captive, Lady Amara, a girl about their age who seems to carry secrets with her. Having disguised as one of the natives earlier, her cover got blown away by ending up in the water, from which she was rescued by Rainy in the end. She can speak English but is currently passed out. Or so it seems. For some reason, she is asking Sam to keep pretending she's one of theirs. When they arrive in the city, they get thrown in a holding cell. Roberto makes a sarcastic comment about not getting any help at all to Danny, and Danny tells Rain to check the door. Rain transforms herself into her half wolf form and she cannot hear or smell anyone close by. What she can smell is the nasty stench in the cell. Roberto tells her it's supposed to be disgusting in a dungeon like this. He then orders Amara to give them some explanations. She introduces herself as Amara Juliana Olivia Aquilla, and her father, Lucius, is the first senator of Roma. She says that she is sincerely sorry about the loss of Roberto's mother, and she prays that she's still alive, or that her death was a quick one without any pain. Roberto asks Amara if his mother could be in the city, but Amara tells him that if she were, she would be right here. Roberto is getting angry and more annoyed by the second, and wants no sympathy from his teammates. Danny wants to know more and asks Amara why she behaved the way she did. Amara explains more about the origins of the city and the people here. Amara also tells them that she is part of an underground opposition to the current ruling class. If she gets found out, it would ruin her father's political career, as well as the Republican cause. Roberto asks her why they were so interested in his mother's expedition, and Amara tells him that Sam was right in thinking that they are very wary of intruders, strangers from outside. Their city has been able to survive for as long as it has, mainly because of its location. Roberto and Rain don't trust her, but Sam is more gullible and wants to know why they don't trust her. Rain tells him she sure hasn't told them the whole truth. She can just sense that Amara is holding back information. Danielle wishes that Xavier was here, or that she was a telepath just like him. And with the thought, she accidentally triggers her mutant powers and syncs up with Amara's mind, pulling a worst fear from her mind. It's an image of Amara being thrown in a fiery pit of some kind, by a woman. Amara calls her the Black Priestess and she's totally overcome by fear. Sam's getting restless and wants to break free. Danielle and Roberto manage to stop him as Roberto tells him that Sam's powers are too unfocused. Roberto will power up and deal with the door blocking their freedom. Amara tries to stop him, but she's too late. Roberto smashes the door to pieces, which triggers a booby trap. Darts get automatically shot at them and they are tipped with a certain kind of organic poison, which paralyzes them all, instantaneously, and renders them all unconscious. Meanwhile, somewhere in the city of Roma, in the senatorial baths, Amada's father Lucius would like to have a word with Marcus Domitius, who would rather not spend time on Lucius. He has more important business to tend to. Lucius asks if this business has something to do with the captured Outlanders. Lucius' spies, or patriotic citizens as he prefers to call them, have informed him well of their capture. Regardless of the prisoners' ages, Marcus tells him, the law is quite specific. Male Outlanders will go to the arena for entertainment, and if they survive the experience, they will join the girls on the auction block to be sold into slavery. The rivalry between the two men is obvious, regardless of their superficial consciousness. Lucius is the one thing that stands between Marcus's ambitions. Marcus returns to his lair, swearing his revenge on Lucius for hindering his plans, as he orders his servant to bring him wine. His wife, Selene, asks him if he had a bad day, and Marcus tells her what's going on. How his army had captured some children possessing extraordinary powers. Powers which would make him invincible if he would get them to serve him. but Lucius is making him uphold the law and deliver them to the arena. Selene tells Marcus that she has heard him curse Lucius and wish for him to be dead many times before. She tells him she could accomplish that for him. He tells her no. Marcus wants Lucius to fall by his own hand, and rather not resort to Selene's black arts. Selene assures him that the day will come when her black arts may be his only hope for victory and salvation. She takes him all the way down to the catacombs below their villa. She then shows him that she has a prisoner hidden down there, since she is looking for a way, other than the magic arts, to dispose of her husband's enemies. She uses her magic to reveal a door hidden in the wall. Seeing this display of powers, Marcus can't help but shiver out of the fear he has for the powers possessed by this woman he loves. Inside the cell is Castro. Selene tells Castro to tell her husband what he had told her. Castro tells him that he serves a great lord who wishes to exploit the natural resources of this land. He then offers Marcus an alliance, granting Marcus weapons, guns, whatever assistance he requires, all to be traded for mining rights. Marcus is intrigued and tells Selene to get the man upstairs and provide him for all he needs. But first and foremost a bath, because he reeks. After that, they will talk. In the meantime, in the House of Women, Rain and Danielle are being treated well and taken care of properly, so they will look their finest and will bring the best possible price at the slave auction. Rain tells Danielle that she envies her hair and explains how her hair never grows beyond the point that it is now, only when it's cut short, and then grows again up to this current length. Danielle tells Rain that long hair isn't all that, because washing and combing it is quite the hassle, let alone when it becomes all tangled up. Rain asks if she couldn't cut it then, and Danielle jokingly says no, because that would make her look like her. Rain then playfully splashes water from her bath to Danielle. They get served more drinks and the girls are liking it, because it tastes great. Amara tells them to take it easy with the drinks, because this is not normal wine, it's drugged. But it's too late, as it's beginning to have its effect on the two of them. They are deliberately being drugged because their captors want them cheering alongside the crowd at the arena tomorrow, as their companions will fight one another to the death. Amara overhears this conversation and will have to sneak in during the night to rescue Danielle and Rain. During the night, Amara makes her move. She thinks back to how her father had told her to stay away from the city years ago, to save her from the Black Priestess and her unholy fire cult. She was to stay away until her father could discover the true identity and crush her evil forever. He would be shocked to find her in the city right now. She figures she should have told the New Mutants since they sensed she was hiding something anyway, resulting in them not trusting her now. She's scared as she makes her way towards Rain and Danielle, as she wonders how awesome it must be to be as brave and fearless as they are. She tries to wake up Rain, but she tells her to go away. Amara tells her they must escape tonight, because the life they will have once they're sold off as slaves is going to be a miserable one, especially if their master will find them attractive. Sadly, they are too drugged out. They drank a lot and a small dose should already be effective. Amara wonders why the drugs didn't have an effect on her, as she makes her way out of there. She won't be able to carry the both of them out of there anyways. Suddenly she grows very weak, getting dizzy. She can hardly stand. She's feeling hot inside, like there's a fire burning inside of her. And it hurts. A lot. Making her wanting to scream. Or to die even. Anything to just make the hurting stop. But she can't do a thing but endure the pain until it stops. It's not the first time she's had an attack like this. But they are becoming heavier and occur more and more often than before. She wonders if she's gotten a disease or if she's been cursed. She's about to get up and make her way out of there, as she's being spotted by someone. Someone who is pleased by her side. It's Selene, and Amara recognizes her instantly, as she does her, even though it's been years. Selene tells Amara that she's glad to finally see her again, happy that their paths have crossed again. A blessing from the gods that she will make very good use of. In the dungeon, where Sunspot and Cannibal are being held captive, two of the gladiators are practicing their skills. While Sam and Roberto are trying to find the way to free themselves from the shackles, but being drugged, Roberto isn't able to access his immense strength. One of the gladiators explains to them what happens in the arena and what will happen after the fight, depending on the outcome. Sam says it won't really be a fair fight with them being drugged. He gets told not to worry, because after the trainer is done with his work, they will be happy to take on an army. At noon, the entertainment starts. The show is preceded by the audience engaging in gossip, flirtations, arguments, and placing bets on gladiatorial contests and races. On who will live and who will die. All under the watchful eye of the ceremonial master of the games, Senator Marcus Domitius Gallio and his wife Selene, accompanied by a drugged out Rain and Danielle, dressed up beautifully, looking like princesses without a care in the world. In the dungeon, Sam and Roberto are being prepared to enter the arena, getting force-fed wine laced with drugs. The drugs will make them be consumed by a berserker fury, which will give them the strength, a resistance to pain, and the endurance of a madman. They won't stop at anything unless they have killed or will be killed themselves. Sam is less under the influence of the drugs than Roberto is and tells him to control himself. They are not killers. But Roberto tells Sam to speak for himself. A little bit later, in the arena, the drugs and rage give Roberto the energy to summon his powers, and he deals with the two gladiators instantly. One single blow is all it takes, to the amazement of the audience. Sam feels like Roberto and him could wreck the place and thinks to himself they probably should, because the alternative is them becoming slaves. The drugs are getting to him as well, as he tries to resist. He sees Rain and Danielle cheering them on, just like the rest of the crowd. Sam figures he should give them what they want, as he's being approached by a horde of gladiators in vehicles and on horses. He activates his powers as cannonball and destroys vehicles, making the gladiators scramble to safety. But not all of them are able to do so, as one of them gets trampled by one of the horses. Sunspot tries a different but risky tactic, by lowering himself to the ground right between the horses pulling the chariot as they make their way towards him. He's strong, but not invulnerable. The audience watches in awe, as they see him disappear, only to emerge behind the chariot again, which he picks up and throws into another chariot. Cannonball wrecks another one of the vehicles, but accidentally slams into Sunspot. Marcus is safely watching things unfold, knowing that if Sam and Roberto were to turn against him, his archers will take them out instantly. Formidable as they are only human nonetheless. Sunspot and Cannonball start to turn against one another. The drugs inside their bodies cause them to attack one another, and Sunspot, getting hit by Cannonball on the back, is reminded of the first time they both met, calling Cannonball a coward for hitting him from behind once again. Sunspot swings and hits Cannonball as he's flying towards him, and the impact leaves both of them lying on the floor, physically shocked and drained. Sam's invulnerability took a full hit from Roberto, and it renders them both powerless. Roberto gets up faster and attacks Sam barehandedly. Normally they would have emptied their gas tank already, but the drugs give them more endurance than before. The former friends fight and Rain cheers Roberto on to kill Sam. Sam is a lot bigger than Roberto, but Roberto is able to use his powers again and grabs Sam by his throat. This fight is causing a panic within Rain, who feels she must save the boy she fancies, namely Roberto. She is being told to stay put, but nothing will stop Rain. She transforms and deals with the two legionaries, as well as restoring the mind link shares with Danielle when in wolf form. She jumps inside the arena and Danielle wakes up from the influence of the drugs, realizing she was cheering the boys on to kill one another. She has to stop this. She has to find a way to shock them out of the drugged out state, just like she was by Rain's transformation. She tries to pluck a very specific image out of their minds, something she has not tried before. She creates an image of Professor Xavier, which snaps Sam and Roberto out of their berserker rage. The boys apologize to one another as the crowd turns on them, saying they are demons and spawn of the Black Priestess, calling for the archers to open fire. The archers await Marcus Domitius' order, but he tells them to stand down. Marcus tells everyone in the audience that an ancient prophecy has been fulfilled. Rain's hair marks her as a descendant of the divine patron Gaius Julius Caesar, and her transformation into a wolf reveals her to be of the same blood as the she-wolf who suckled Romulus and Remus, the founders of Mother Rome. They are the children of not man, but of gods, and he welcomes the children among them. The crowd is cheering at Marcus' words, and everything is going to be just fine. Thanks for watching this video and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already, because that will help me out in growing the channel and being able to produce more videos like this one. See you next episode.